On Sunday, June 13, 1954, passengers rode on the last run for steam with Maine Central Railroad locomotive number 470. After its last run from Portland to Bangor and back, locomotive 470 was retired to the Maine Central Railroad maintenance shops in Waterville to be prepared for display near the public railroad station. When Waterville was celebrating its centennial anniversary in 1962, the locomotive was officially presented to the city of Waterville as a gift from the Maine Central. It remained on the original site until the public railroad station was torn down in order to make room for the nearby overpass. In its glory days of passenger rail in the 1940s and early 1950s, the 470 was part of a thriving passenger service from Boston, Massachusetts to Bangor, Maine. During its 30 years of service, the 470 had pulled named passenger trains including the Gull, the Bar Harbor Express, and the Kennebec Limited. In December 1970, the locomotive was moved from Colby Circle to College Avenue, where it stayed for over 40 years exposed to the weather and vandalism. The old 470 is the largest surviving steam locomotive in New England. After the final run of the 470 in 1954, it was only 6 years later that the Maine Central discontinued all passenger service in Maine. By 2012, the city of Waterville had recognized that the old 470 was deteriorating badly and requested bids for the sale or restoration of the locomotive. Of the 6 bidders, the New England Steam Corporation was the only one that planned to keep the 470 in Maine. The New England Steam Corporation began the 3-day operation to move the old 470 from Waterville to Ellsworth on August 8, 2016. Before the videographer arrived at the site, the locomotive cab had already been removed and placed on a flatbed truck. The 2 cranes used to remove the boiler needed to be prepared by adding counterweights to offset the weight of the locomotive's boiler and frame. When the cranes were ready, they efficiently moved the boiler to the truck. The engineer functioned like a conductor, directing the 2 cranes working in harmony to move the 82,000-pound boiler from its long-standing site to the truck for the trip to Ellsworth. The 470 was built by the American Locomotive Company in Schenectady, New York in 1924 and purchased by the Maine Central Railroad. It's a 462 Pacific steam locomotive and weighs more than 470,000 pounds. The goal of the New England Steam Corporation is to restore locomotive 470. Progress of the restoration will be determined by the amount of money donated for the project and the speed with which it is received. It is hoped that the restoration can be accomplished in time that some of those who were aboard the 470 for the last run for steam in 1954 will be able to ride it on its first run in the 21st century. Measuring the height of the locomotive is necessary in order to successfully clear bridge underpasses. Dismantling the tender was to be done the next day. Moving the 470 requires an enormous amount of effort and coordination of manpower and equipment. Those in charge were especially appreciative of the discounted services offered by Casco Bay Trucking and Keeley Crane. In addition to all the railroad-related volunteers from the Downeast Scenic Railroad, Chimbro Corporation also donated important specialized services of its employees. Governor's Restaurants in Maine contributed to the fundraising effort by selling locomotive burgers and donating part of the proceeds from each burger. Governor's Restaurant also feeds the work crew year-round. In the afternoon, the locomotive's 160,000-pound frame with wheels and pistons was removed from the site. The bottom portion of the firebox hung below the frame of the locomotive. It was removed so that it would not be damaged during the trip to Ellsworth.
How far down are you going?
In the shop, sure, you saw it all the time.
Probably look at us and laugh.
was a locomotive. And all that's left is a booster and a pilot.
You can open the other one up to the top of the wall.
I think at one time.
It's the second set of wheels. It's an additional axle on the back end of the trailer. Yeah, there are 3 axles that are part of the trailer. Oh, up on the rack. Yep. Oh, the blue thing. Yeah. The blue thing is just a bin for the slings and the cables and stuff. That was built. Oh, that's a crane. Yeah. Well, crane. Yeah. Yep, they got a pair of them.
Before it could be loaded onto the truck, 2 stand-on plates needed to be detached because they would have created a problem with an unbalanced load. After the locomotive is moved to Washington Junction outside Ellsworth, a structure will be built to house the locomotive while it is being restored. It is estimated that it'll take $1,300,000 for the New England Steam Corporation to restore Old 470 to working condition. One of the goals is to complete the job within 10 years. Restoration can only be achieved by donations to accomplish the goal. For current information about the progress of the restoration and about making donations, check their website at newenglandsteam.org. In cooperation with the Downeast Scenic Railroad, the New England Steam Corporation hopes to run the 470 on the Downeast Scenic Railroad after it's restored. Thank you for watching this episode of Train Time.